Good morning, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm going to do a short video for you this morning. I want to show you a message I got from a YouTube comment I thought was interesting, and then I made a video based, where I went off of that. And anyway, this first one was finding the tunnel. This is an older video, and that was it's posted to my YouTube. And it's that's where I got this comment from this guy named Alan Eddings here 6 hours ago. He says, "Yep, I have a friend that knows a guy, and his cousin helped build the tunnels. Yep, there's more than one, and I can't say no more." And then I replied, "One guy recently reported the address of a home where he said that he found a tunnel entrance. He told me they walked a few miles underground, which was really nice with separate rooms." And that was another YouTube video, comments, print screens, and all that. There's been so many people here documented talking about tunnels. It's unbelievable. But this video that he commented on, finding the tunnel, basically what I'm saying is, and I think I'm going to tell you more about in a minute, but it's not a what if could be people being in the attic. It's not a bug. It's not a mouse. Not a squirrel. I saw a young Hispanic guy in my attic on a camera one day, but I couldn't get my camera started in time. I finally proved they were hacking my cameras, and so now we know why we ain't got no pictures of them. They've set off the burglar alarms 100 times. I probably made 100 videos of burglar alarms going off, and other people have been here in the house while that's happened. There's so much evidence. Once again, I was ambushed and shot with burglar alarms going off my attic, and now homeowners all over Midland, Odessa, Texas, and other states are documenting reporting people in the attic. This is going on all over the place, and so now we're just talking about how they're getting up there, okay? And so that's what finding the tunnel says is that I secured the doors, okay, and I checked the roof, and we know somebody's getting up there, so the only other way in there is from a wall. And most walls don't have enough crawl space, so you got to find the wall that has the crawl space, the hidden wall, and then you find the tunnel. And so that was the name of this video. My scanner's kind of loud right now, but find the wall and you find the tunnel. That's what started this Facebook post. The lady in this video had reported people in the attic of her Alabama home. She climbed up there and made this video, where she showed me. In this one, you can see a man-sized crawl space behind her bedroom wall. Phil Causey from Hillsboro, Oregon, told me that they were hearing people in their home, and then their kids saw somebody in the rooms before he found a hollow space in the wall at least 30 inches deep. My attic doors are bolted shut, and the roof has been checked for a trapdoor by a contractor, but then I saw a young Hispanic guy in my attic, and even though they hadn't been caught on security cameras, I did prove they've been hacking them. The only other way up there is from a wall, and most of my walls don't have enough space, so there are only a few possible locations. That is why I've said find the wall and you find the tunnel. But you also find armed and dangerous criminals backed up by a secret police murder gang and a press that is hiding their crimes to cover up the burglaries, thefts, and murders. Okay, I think that that's pretty. That's not a what if either. That's what's going on. On December 19, 2012, the Vivint security system in my attic recognized a person was here and dispatched the police. This was the second time this alarm system did this, but the police refused to go up and look on both times. Officers Stephen Bracken and Chad Simpson were on this call at my house. Simpson was the Midland K-9 police officer who was alleged to have killed his wife and then killed himself in 2014. This was 2 days after I posted his picture to my Facebook, along with the story about the young girl that was murdered at the 2010 oil show party, which had police presence, believed to have happened in the underground home in my backyard. He was a secret police that had his name omitted on the long withheld police report for the night of the murder to him. So when he murdered his wife in 2014, he wasn't even identified as a secret police until 2018. And he was caught on camera at my house 2012, and his name wasn't on the police report. Anyway, he was one of the police officers that come over on this Vivint call. Okay, and I'm going to show you the police report on that because it has to do with this. You can see where Stephen Bracken said he thinks there are people in the walls. When I first read this, I was offended because I hadn't said that nor thought about it, but now I'm sure that is what was going on. I also believe that this officer knew it was too, and that was an inside joke. It's clear that a large group of corrupt police have been working with this crime ring that has been rigging private homes for burglary, theft, and murder. Okay, so here, this is a very short video. We're going to play it. Get my sound up.
They pulled the insulation out, and they... like I said, they pulled the insulation out and they traveled through here. All this was done. But then here was my bedroom. And here was a place that was taken out of my bedroom. that we found that was a hole in my ceiling to where I suppose they had a camera planted there. And then this, right beside my bedroom, you could just drop down in here in between my walls. You know, like I said, it's just they pulled the insulation out and they traveled through here.
So anyways,
all this was done. But then here.
And then the other attachment here was this private message from Phil Causey. He said he lived in Hillsbury, Oregon back in 2010. And we're hearing noises in the house. A breaking point for us is when our children began to report seeing other people in our rooms at night, and it really freaked us out. And then he says, I quickly realized there was a hollow space in the wall at least 30 inches deep. And so he goes on. This guy was an engineer. You know, he was another credible witness, one of the many credible witnesses, telling me he found a hidden crawl space up the wall. And this is a police report for when the second time Vivint dispatched people to my attic. Okay, I literally paid over $1,000 having a Vivint alarm system put in my attic to prove these crimes were going on. You know, and because they are. Okay, so there's the timestamp date on December 19th. Keep in mind that's about a year after I was ambushed and shot with my phone lines cut. And so here's a message. He is afraid someone's in that. Actually, I didn't call the police. Vivint called the police, you know. And so Kevin Bullard was an operator. And then we have Chad Simpson and Stephen Bracken. Now, remember, Chad Simpson is the police officer here in Midland that in December 2014 murdered his wife and killed himself. And that happened 2 days after I posted his picture onto my Facebook along with the rape and murder story, which was a story about the young girl that was murdered at the 2010 oil show party that had police present. Okay, and people wondered if Chad was at those parties. Okay, and then also this comment here, he thinks that people in his walls, and that come from Bracken, you know, and so I think that was. I didn't put the bottom on it, but if I went on down, you'll see where they call me 1096. That's what's been going on, because that's modus operandi right there, is that they falsely label the crime victim as crazy to cover up these murders and these burglaries and the thefts, the racketeer and the organized crime. That's what's going on here. And I believe if we could find a police officer that wasn't corrupt and interview Stephen Bracken, we're going to find out that he does know about these $1 million underground homes where they were hosting parties for international oil shows, and then the dozen secret police that were secret for 6 years that had to pay to get identified. You know, one of them was his partner on that call, Chad Simpson, alleged murderer Chad Simpson. Okay. So my next comments, here's a list of some of the homes in Midland, Odessa where it's documented that the owners reported somebody in the attic. And it's not all of them either. I first reported somebody in my attic a year before I was ambushed and shot, with burglar alarms going off in the attic. I believe that most of these homes are rigged like mine, with a tunnel going up a wall which has a crawl space. It makes sense that tunnels are going to a nearby home because that's the shortest path. Okay. And most of these are calls from my police scanner. You know, I overheard it. I get my phone, I record it, and so a owner, and keep in mind, last year I sent an information request to the city of Midland asking for a list. All homeowners reported something in the attic, and City Attorney Gates wrote me back, so the police department said nobody had. Nobody. And here I got the police report for when I did, and I have all these other calls recorded from my police scanner, and the city of Midland's claiming it's never happened to anybody in the last 10 years. And I have the document showing that. Obviously, they're lying, and obviously I'm not lying. Okay, and here was just a friend's comment. Oh my God, in Alabama, that's my state, you know. And so I went on. I was like, I've had people contact me from California, Oregon, New Mexico, Colorado, Arkansas, and Alabama. I suspect it's going on nationwide. This is organized crime and racketeering. See, I lived here 2 years before I figured out somebody's breaking my house, and now, you know, I'm told that these underground homes were put in '87. You know, I believe these crimes are going on for many years. I believe they killed the guy that lived here before me, you know. I climbed onto my roof, onto my roof about a week before I shot, and I saw a suspected tunnel entrance hidden in the backyard of my east neighbor. It looked like a storm cellar door covering up the ground. Google Earth historical pictures gave me the timeline from when it was put in and when it was taken out. This tunnel entrance was put in between 3:31 3/31/08 and 12/5/09. It was taken out between October 2nd, 2014 and April 28, 2016. This means it was put in around the time that the last homeowner, Mike Lawhon, was suspected of being murdered here, and then taken out around 2015 when a lot of other events happened believed to be connected with the cover-up, such as 2 secret police happened to die within 2 months of each other. The mystery coax cable was taken out, that goes underground, was disconnected. And so there was a whole list of things that happened in that time frame. That live tree was removed behind Home Depot next to the 2 side-by-side manholes. So here's the dates. These are, if you go download Google Earth, okay, there's a function called where you can go look at the old pictures, the historical pictures. And my address is 3802 Fair Circle, so you can do this yourself. And you can look here at 3/31/08. Satellite flew over, whatever. This is my home. This is where I was ambushed and shot. This is the neighbor's home. And all I'm showing is in the backyard, there's nothing there. So we know that suspected tunnel entrance was not there on that date. But on the next flyby on December 5th, 2009, there it is in that backyard. That's the suspected tunnel entrance in that backyard of that neighbor, okay? And so it was there when I was ambushed and shot. And of course, right here in my backyard is where it's believed that the one of the 4 3-bedroom underground homes cost $1 million is, okay? And so you see how close that is. That shed, that's where I made a video of that digging noise one day. My dog alerted me of. It's called cotton digging. That's another video. So here's another date. And this one here shows 10/2/14, and it's just showing it's still there. So we know it's there by October 14, but all of a sudden it's gone. Okay, it was removed by 4/28/16, no longer there. And at the same time, this live tree was taken out. See how the tree's there and the tree's gone? Over here was 2 side-by-side manholes. It was suspected one of them was also a tunnel entrance, and it was taken out too. I've suspected that all these other homeowners that have reported people in the attic, that they're, it's coming from a neighbor's house. So I did, here my playlist on my YouTube, I have one called Attic Investigations, okay? I'm going to show you this. Okay, and so these are all the videos in there. One of these investigations here, I can't see which one it is for Dartmouth Street, okay? And without clicking on them, I don't think I can. That's 4 homes in Odessa. That's 6th Street in Carlsbad. That one's 300 Hickory. That's 3322 Providence. There it is, 2505 Dartmouth. The reason I wanted to talk about this one, okay, because there's so many homes here, right? There's so many that are documented reporting people in the attic, is when I looked up the neighbors of this home on Dartmouth, I noticed that the next door neighbor was related to Curtis Lloyd, and he was the guy that found the remains of Haley Dunn 2 days after I had wrote the Department of Justice and suggested that they send somebody here to look in the underground facility for clues into the disappearance of the famous missing, murdered 13-year-old Haley Dunn. Okay, so then this guy Curtis Lloyd goes out there and finds her by Scurry County. Now there's a dozen people documented saying Haley was killed in Odessa. Many people are believing Haley was dug up and moved so nobody would come here and look. Okay, and that Curtis was somehow chosen to go find her remains. And just isn't it a coincidence that he grew up in the home next door to where somebody was reporting people in the attic? This is Buddy Webb. Talk to you later.